Welcome to the video. Today we're taking a closer look at one of Pablo Picasso's most powerful artworks, Guernica. If you've watched my earlier video about his painting, The Old Guitarist, you may notice some familiar themes and stylistic elements. But Guernica represents Picasso's expression taken to an entirely new level. It's not just a painting, it is a statement, a reminder of the destruction caused by war and one of the most recognized images in modern art. Let's begin with a brief look at the artist. Pablo Picasso was born in 1881 in Malaga, Spain, and rose to become one of the most influential artists of the 20th century. He was exceptionally productive and played a key role in the development of Cubism and modern art in general. Although he spent most of his life in Paris, his ties to Spain remained strong. The events of the Spanish Civil War affected him personally, and the bombing of the town of Guernica had a profound impact on him. In 1937, the Spanish Republican government commissioned Picasso to create a work for the Spanish pavilion at the Paris World's Fair. At first, he did not have a clear concept for the piece. Everything changed on April 26 of that year when German bombers attacked the town of Guernica. The bombing targeted civilians, and photographs of the destruction quickly spread through newspapers. Picasso decided to address the tragedy directly and capture the shock and chaos it created. The painting was completed in just over a month. During May and June of 1937, photographer Dora Maar documented the process step by step, and her photos are now an essential resource for understanding how the work developed. Guernica is enormous, about 3.5 meters tall and almost 8 meters wide. Its black and white palette is no accident. Picasso used it to echo the look of newspaper photographs, the main source of information for the bombing at the time. The absence of color emphasizes the seriousness of the subject. It avoids beauty and forces the viewer to confront the harsh reality. The painting is composed of fragmented and angular shapes reminiscent of Cubism. The figures appear broken, much like the city after the attack. Even though the painting looks chaotic, its composition is carefully structured. The viewer's eye is guided from left to right through the placement of figures and light, and all the elements connect through gaze, movement, and space. The symbolism in Guernica is one of its most discussed features. Picasso never gave a detailed explanation of what each figure represents. He left interpretation up to the viewer. Still, many symbols have become widely accepted in art historical analysis. In the upper left corner, there is a bull. It is one of the most analyzed figures in the painting. The bull has been interpreted as a symbol of Spain, brute force, or the violence of war. Picasso himself stated that he didn't want to assign the bull to any single political meaning, but described it as a representation of power and dark forces. Below the bull, a woman holds her dead child. This is one of the most emotionally striking parts of the painting. Her open-mouthed cry has been compared to Christian pietà imagery, but in this context, it represents the innocent victims of a senseless conflict rather than a religious reference. In the center stands a horse, perhaps the most important symbol in the entire work. It is wounded, and many interpret it as representing the Spanish people. The sharp wound in its side suggests shrapnel and the violence of the bombing. Its open mouth emphasizes pain and desperation. At the top of the painting is an electric light bulb shaped somewhat like an eye. It has been interpreted as the cold light of modern warfare, a revealing truth, or even a symbol of surveillance. Picasso never assigned it a specific meaning, but its presence ties the painting to the technological realities of the time. At the bottom lies a fallen soldier, symbolizing defeat and hopelessness. His broken sword suggests that resistance has collapsed. Yet next to the sword, a small flower grows, a subtle symbol of hope and the possibility of renewal even in the midst of devastation. On the right side of the painting, figures appear to be fleeing from a burning building. Although flames are not painted realistically, the tilted shapes and gestures imply fire and panic. These figures highlight the experience of civilians caught in sudden destruction. Guernica is now considered one of the most important anti-war artworks in history. It traveled internationally for decades, bringing attention to the events of the Spanish Civil War. Later, it became a universal symbol of peace. Picasso refused to allow the painting to return to Spain until the country restored democracy. That happened in 1981, when Guernica was finally moved from New York back to Madrid. There are also several interesting facts connected to the painting and its history. Picasso completed Guernica in only 35 days, which is remarkable for such a large and complex work. Doromar's photographs reveal that the painting changed significantly during the process. Some figures were repainted multiple times. In 1974, the work was vandalized when activist Tony Shafrazi spray-painted the words "Kill Lies All" across the surface. Luckily, the painting was protected by a varnish layer, and the writing was removed without permanent damage. Another notable fact is that when the painting finally returned to Spain, it was transported on a regular commercial flight, an event that became symbolic for the country's new democratic era. Overall, Guernica is a unique creation. It is both a historical document and an artistic statement, reminding us of the human cost of war. Its power does not come from graphic violence, but from the way it depicts chaos and despair through shapes and symbols that the viewer is invited to interpret personally. Thank you for watching until the end. If you enjoyed this video, you can support the channel by liking the video and subscribing. Also leave a comment. Which symbol in Guernica affected you the most, and how do you interpret the figures in the painting? See you in the next video.